The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily represent those of this station or its management. It's time for Where You Live with Gene and Tony, the show that's all about owning, buying, selling, renting, and association management. If it involves a home, we'll talk about it. Here's your chance to get your homeowner questions answered. From the Natural Lawn and Landscape Studios, here's Gene and Tony.
Needed the shelter of someone's arms, and there you were. Needed someone to understand my ups and downs. And
good morning. Welcome to Where You Live with Gene and Tony. I'm Gene Sullivan.
And I'm Tony Crockett. Good to see you today, Gene.
Good to see you, too. And it's also good to see Chris Wyatt Earp Huberty, our board up. Hello, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing fine.
Excellent.
It is great. Do you know why? I've been thinking this week, we've had this big snowstorm earlier in the week, a dump, but I really think this is going to be the last of it.
Yeah, that's the feeling you get in March, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I am holding on to the predictions of Puxtatawny Phil.
Yeah, what did he say this year?
He said there wasn't going to be more weeks of winter, that we were going to have a quicker spring. Okay. And he's one cool dude.
Is he?
Yes.
I don't know him personally, but I've seen him on TV.
I can't either, but I've seen him so much. It feels like I know him. Well, folks, it's great to have you with us here today on Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. Remember, Natural Green is a locally owned and operated lawn and landscape care company. Their mission is to use the most environmentally sensitive products available to keep your lawn and landscape looking lush and beautiful while still healthy for both people and pets. Give them a call, won't you? Their number 763-213-2410. We're also brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. Great stories today. We're going to be talking about can a magazine subscription be used as a weapon?
All right.
One Star Tribune writer thinks so. Uh-huh. We're going to be talking about the gentleman who has been nicknamed the Condo Commando. He's an interesting fellow. And then we're also going to be dealing with the topic, the Supreme Court in Virginia, in the state of Virginia, is saying that homeowner association boards are overstepping their authority when it comes to their management and direction of the association. We kind of think maybe the state Supreme Court of Virginia might be overstepping their authority, but you be the judge. But without further ado, let's begin with property management in the news. Property Management in the News is brought to you by Home Furniture in Abbey Floor Coverings. Their showrooms are staffed with professionals who will help you choose what you need to fit both your lifestyle and budget. Whatever you need, chances are they'll have what you're looking for. Now, if you wish to avail yourself of special pricing and discounts you won't find anywhere else, all Where You Live listeners can call Customer Service Coordinator Lori Matson. Her number, 952-224-2663. That's 952-224-2663. And ask for Where You Live with Gene and Tony special pricing. Well, let's begin with that first story. A magazine subscription used as a latest weapon. Well, that's what a Star Tribune writer wrote just a few weeks ago concerning two homeowners who live close to one another in a homeowner association in Apple Valley. Apparently, what was happening is that one woman reported to the association about her neighbor having a dog that was urinating and defecating on the lawn in front of her home. Now, the story begins by saying that this woman tried talking to the neighbor numerous times, asking her to please stop.
Don't let your dog do his business on my lawn.
Yeah. And so what happened is after nothing, no response at all from the homeowner, she went the next step. She turned to her association board of directors
And made a formal complaint.
Complaint
about the neighbor who was not monitoring her dog.
Yes, and it sounds like they followed through with probably a note, a notice to this particular homeowner, and that's when things started ratcheting up. Apparently, the woman who had made the complaint, her name is Lane Anderson, began realizing that she was receiving numerous magazine subscriptions.
She said she went out of town for a weekend. A little while later, the post office said, hey, you got to come in to pick up your mail. And when she did go in to pick up her mail, they handed her a bin full of magazines.
23 magazines to be exact. And they said, and all of a sudden, with those magazines, were invoices of over $500
to pay for them,
for all of those subscriptions. Now, of course, she did not ask for any of those herself. And so that's when she started putting two and two together.
Well, it said she started canceling the subscriptions, and so she asked for the subscription order forms.
That's right.
To try and figure out what was going on.
And then when she saw them, but I think she had a niggling feeling in the back of her mind that this might be that one homeowner who was upset with her, because she turned it over to the association. The association had a letter that was written in handwriting from this other neighbor. Her name was Sanchez, and that was turned over to the police. And it sounds like all of a sudden the police said, the signing on these subscriptions is the same handwriting of this letter. And now all of a sudden this Sanchez is now facing a felony stalking, 2 counts of felony stalking.
2 counts of felony stalking. She initially denied that she had anything to do with it, but the police came and searched her home, apparently after they matched her handwriting.
Yeah.
And then she admitted that she had filled in her neighbor, Lane Anderson's, name and address on subscription cards. She said, I did them all.
And she almost seemed proud of it, didn't she?
She said she explained that there had been this rift between them. She was upset because Anderson had turned her into the homeowners association, and she said she was frustrated and didn't feel that she could get in trouble for doing this subscription scam.
She didn't think she could get in trouble.
That seems amazing to me that she didn't think that was wrong.
It probably seems like, I suppose to some folks that, doing a subscription might be a joke. But you have all of these 23 over $500. You know what? Something like this could affect the credit of Ms. Anderson.
Well, it could sure mess you up for a while until you get it all sorted out. Anderson said that she suspects this neighbor had also poured bleach on her shrubs, broken a newly planted tree, and stole a UPS package from her doorstep, but she has no proof of that. She just said the list goes on and on. I can't prove this other stuff. She thinks it's funny, meaning Sanchez. She thinks bullying me is funny. And what a sad, sad state of affairs here. But that's what bullies do. They think it's within their right to bully other people, and they think it's funny, or at least that it's justifiable.
Oh, I know. The one thing that I thought was very misleading with the Star Tribune article here was how they characterized it by the title of the article. It said, Apple Valley neighbors feud leads to blizzard of magazines. I would disagree. I would not call it a feud. A feud is hostility on the part of two different people, two different entities going at it back and forth, tit for tat. I'm telling you, everything that I read here, I can't find anything that this Lane Anderson did that I thought was inappropriate or anything but being a model neighbor. What do you think?
I agree with you. You're absolutely right. She took steps and availed herself of all the options that were available to her. She spoke directly to her neighbor. Now, how many times do owners tell us, well, they don't want to speak directly to the neighbor. They want to be anonymous about this issue. She didn't. She stepped up. She was a mature adult.
Yep.
She spoke to her neighbor. She was ignored. Then she reported it to the association. So I think you're right. This isn't a feud. This is an assault of one neighbor against another, I think.
Oh, I agree. I think it is, too. And I think it's interesting that the police thought so, too, because what they found appropriate for sentencing her with initially was 2 accounts of felony stalking. Mm-hmm. Well, hey, we need to take a break right now. Let's go ahead and do that. And when we come back, let's wrap up this instance in Apple Valley where magazines subscriptions were used as a weapon in a townhome association here in the Twin Cities. We'll take a break. You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony on AM 1280, The Patriot.